So a nice, quick, and relatively short one. Um, Lights. I'm using one right now, and it's fantastic. It's an Icon work light, magnetic, does what you need it to. Uh, get in tight spaces and you want to light it up, and this is only on low power, but it's amazing. That said, everyone talks about the power of a light. 9 out of 10, I don't care about the power. Now, when you need power, you need power. You want to push light, and you just want to see what you're doing. The rest of the time, someone like me, I'm a hiker. I'm an outdoorsy person. I like caving, or for those of you that are just absolutely pedantic, spelunking. You want a light that works, that is reliable, bulletproof, and will run for a very long time. I did a cave not too long ago here in Colorado, and it's on the side of a 14er, and so you have to hike over 13 miles one way up the side of a mountain, packing in gear. My dad and I went together. What a great time. And we each had 67 pounds of gear going up there. That included our tent, overnight materials, this equipment we would need in the cave, batteries for our lights, and yes, power is good, but our main focus was, what are we getting for every ounce that we take with us? I mean, we were leaving behind certain things because we said we're not going to get enough value out of it. And when you're rucking that in there, every little bit matters. So weight is a big one. And what I decided to do is talk about two of my favorite lights, two very different use cases as well. The one is the Cloud Defense EDC. This one is 1700 lumens and is pushing out somewhere around 45,000 candela. Super bright, very good light. Not the most reliable. And those of you in the know about Cloud Defensive, they are great lights. They really do work well, but reliability is a factor, and let's be real. This is not the light I'm taking into a cave with me. Now, day to day I carry it, and I know its little intricacies to keep it going, and it works just fine. I use it with confidence. But my absolute favorite light, and I did a long form video just blasting you with a lot of information about each of these lights and what I use them for, how I see them, and their total output. And one of my favorite lights of all time, I've had it for a little over 5 years now, and this thing is battle worn. This is the Streamlight ProTech 2LX, and it runs on a single 18650 rechargeable cell. This one, in fact, is a USB rechargeable. I'm going to pop it out and show it to you here. So right there, you got a little micro USB port, protected cell, 2600 milliamp hour, 3.7 volt, does the trick. All of my batteries are marked, so I have ones down the side of this battery, so I know what my recharge cycles are. I know when to rotate a new cell in and how to use it. And this is less than a third of the total power output of my Cloud Defense light. And people say, wait, why do you like that? Don't you want bright power? You just want to push light? Short answer is yes, I want to push light, but I want reliability and longevity. I just told you a little bit about my hiking and spelunking adventure up there caving here in Colorado. Power is good, but when I'm crawling over 400 yards with hundreds of thousands of tons of rock above my head, I want a light that is going to work. When you're deep in those caves and it gets dark, you can't see your hand in front of your face. Your brain is creating things and you're almost hallucinating. And that's just after a couple of minutes, okay? And that's why my go-to light, absolutely, hands down, is the ProTech 2LX. It's only about 500 lumens, and that's for the first few minutes. It does step down a little bit, but that's pushing at 6800 candela. And I know for a fact that on low power, which is more than overpowering the light that I'm using back here, this thing will last for hours. When we came back down off that mountain, I had brought 2 extra cells with me, including the one in the light, and we got down to the bottom on the main trail, and we're still 6.5 miles from our vehicle, okay? At this point, the sun has long set. It's 9:30 at night. We each still have a lot of gear on. So we used up our food goods. We knocked out a fair portion of our water, knowing the situation. But we're hiking back in the dark with heavy equipment. And this light right here is what I had with me, knowing that it was going to run, okay? I didn't care about having a super bright light. I cared about having light. And the Streamlight Protect 2LX, it hit the bill exactly what I was looking for, what I wanted. And I didn't even have the cloud defense at the time, but this, it's a great light. It's bright, it's power, but it doesn't have the runtime. I think the rated max runtime, if I remember right, is something like 90 minutes. Realistically, the first 30 minutes are great. After that, it starts stepping down fast. One, your battery's being burned out. This uses unprotected cells. They're wonderful, but it's not going to last long. And 18650 is where it's at. This one's only a 2600 milliamp cell, and yet I know that at minimum I have 3 good hours of light, and really I can get 5.5, 6 hours so long as I'm running it in low. But that's more than enough to see on the trail. It's a defined trail that I'm working with, and this is the light I had with me. I did have a couple of headlamps. We used Petzls. We had some energizers, which I don't recommend, by the way. But overall, this is the light I had. We each had our ball caps and, like I said, our hiking gear. I laughed at this when I first got the light. I was like, there's no way I'm going to ever use that as a headlamp. I clipped it to the bill of my hat, and we moved. I had a spare that I had actually gifted to my dad, and he clipped it to his hat. We each had our lights on low power. We made it 6 miles in the dark with our gear and a bicycle trailer situation that we used for part of the trail to move our gear. And we still had power when we got back to the vehicle. And that's the big thing for me. People want who knows what fancy gear. That's fine. I don't belittle them for that in any way or begrudge them having a power light. I have one myself. I've done a long form video where I have a number of lights to choose from. But day to day, I walk out the door, I just want bulletproof reliability. I want longevity, and I want to be able to see where I'm going, see what I'm doing. 500 lumens more than does the trick for me. And I would rather have 500 lumens, okay, about 6,800 candela. It steps down after the first hour to something like 5,200. But it's going to work. It's going to last. I'm going to be able to get from where I'm going to where I need to be and still have light. And if you're using it in low power, you still have that opportunity to go to full max high power. Low power is still bright, okay? You've got plenty of light. A quick double tap, and it's painfully bright. It does exactly what you want every time. So there you have it. Nice, short and sweet. Protect 2LX Streamlight. It works. Stick with the protected cells, and if you're really feeling smart, get the ones that charge on a micro USB. You can plug them in your car. Most of us these days are dealing with Type-C, but I keep a micro USB right here in the car, specifically for this light. I plug it in as I'm going. It's a Toyota, so I've got 12-volt plugs all over the place, and I'm confident that I have what I need. It's just going to work every time. And leave the high power stuff for its special purpose. It's great when you need to punch out, but the rest of the time, you just need longevity. Wish you the best. Hope that helps. Good luck.